Today's podcast episode. Join the students of TCP as they speak with Keisha Bibbs from Responsibly Armed LLC, based in Middle Georgia area. She sat down in person with the teens of the Macon-Bibb County Teen Communications Program. Listen in as these teens ask their questions and hear the insightful answers that Keisha shares. And stay tuned until the very end to hear the powerful takeaways the teens gain from this important conversation. Let's get started.
The thoughts and opinions shared in this episode are those of the team speaking and their guests, do not reflect the official views of Macon-Bibb County Government or the Macon-Bibb County Recreation Department. This podcast is part of the Teen Communications Program and is designed to help bridge the gap between teens and adults, while giving young people the chance to grow their communication skills. Some topics like violence, career choices, and community issues may come up in the conversation, but they are shared from the perspective of youth learning, exploring, and finding their voice. So take what you hear as a part of the journey, not the final destination. Enjoy!
Hey guys, and welcome back to the Macon Teen Communications Program. And today we are with our special guest, Miss Keisha Bibbs. And also we have our guest host here,
Elijah Evans.
Kayla. Azane Renee.
and we also have our person in the sound booth over here, Miss Bailey, who is in what grade? Sixth grade. My name is Jalen Ali, and I'm in the 9th grade. So how are you doing today?
I am fabulous. How are you guys doing?
Great. Awesome.
I know, that's my favorite word.
Awesome. So what do you want us to call you, Miss Keisha?
Miss
Bibbs?
Keisha is good for me.
Okay.
I do got a question. I was kind of like, curious about the whole entire learning and like teaching kids how to shoot with that. So why did you get into that, and how did you get into that?
So I started Responsibly Armed about 4 years ago. Katrina and I, this is my partner over here in crime, Katrina, and we started Responsibly Armed because we knew that in our communities, we need to teach people how to properly, safely, and responsibly use a firearm. So how many of you know people that have been hurt with gun violence, right? Right? So I felt like it was necessary for me to train others on how to, when not to, and what the law says about using a firearm. So that's how I got started in it. And then as far as our youth are concerned, I wanted to teach our youth because you are our future. If you don't know how to use it and protect yourself, then you can go out there like everybody else. Do y'all know that in Middle Georgia, the Macon area, that in 2022, over 153 people between the ages of 1 and 17 died from gun violence.
No, I did not know that.
I didn't know. That's a lot, right? That's a lot of people, huh?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. So we need to do some things, be responsible about when, why, and how we use a firearm. So those are the reasons why I started training, and not just youth. I train mothers, fathers, aunties, uncles, grandmothers. I have some real good grandmothers out there, and they learn how to use a firearm for protection. And so that's what we press.
Oh, thank you.
Good question.
So, Miss Keisha, I didn't even give you a chance to introduce yourself. So, who is Miss Keisha Bibbs, and what is Responsibly Armed?
So Responsibly Armed is a place where we want to demystify all the glamour around firearms, and we make it real simple on what it is, how to use it, when to use it, and why you should and should not. So even though I teach people how to use a firearm, I also tell them all the reasons why they should not use a firearm and all the different ways that you can protect yourself without a firearm. So a firearm is the last and final, right? If somebody gets shot, you automatically think what?
Death.
Death, right? So, but if I were to fight you, do you think death?
No.
Nope.
You got a chance.
You might have a chance,
Yeah.
unless I put
There's
these
a
hands on you.
possibility.
Right, a possibility. I like it. But with a firearm, the possibilities are reduced, right? So we want to make sure, as part of Responsibly Armed, that we are doing it the right way. And then we got to know how not to get in trouble with the law, right? Like understanding what is truly self-defense, because you're going to say, I need to use a firearm for self-defense, right? But what is self-defense? Like, what does it mean to you? So tell me, what does self-defense mean to you?
Who wants to start?
Well, self-defense means to me if, like, somebody broke into the house and they tried, like, to hurt me, like, you can hurt them back because it's your property and they tried to hurt you first.
Excellent answer. I love it. That means that you are in imminent danger, right? That means your danger is immediate, is right upon you, and you believe that there is a loss, that could be potentially a loss of life for you or someone else. Yes?
Yes.
Yes. So that is exactly what the definition of self-defense is. It is when you are in imminent danger of loss of, and you believe that your life or the life of someone else will be lost or hurt really bad, and you have to respond in a means to protect yourself. Make sense?
Yes.
All right. What else y'all got?
So how long ago did you start Responsibly Armed?
I started Responsibly Armed about 4 years ago. I have 2 boys, and one lives in Atlanta and one is in the Navy. And so, but when I started, one was home, and I felt like I needed to show my young man, my young African-American man, how not to get hurt in these streets. And so we learned, I also talked to him about things that he should do if he gets stopped by the police, and how he should protect himself in school, how they should protect themselves when they're in their car with their friends, and all the decisions that they have to make. So that's kind of how we got started. We wanted to give back and take the allure of guns out of the picture. Because how many rap songs do you guys know that talk about guns?
A lot.
Dozens.
You can give me like 3. Give me one.
I don't know. I'm not really into like rap
Armed
stuff.
and Dangerous.
Armed and Dangerous. Give me another.
Would you say
Lifestyle.
Lifestyle? Yeah.
Yeah.
Cronkite Dead.
That's a lot
Red
of them, right?
Red Rum.
All of them.
Yeah.
Look. You just keep going on and on. And what do they tell you should happen? They
There's
all
something.
talking about guns. They all talking
Yeah.
about killing somebody. But guess who they killing?
Each other.
Your mama,
Your cousin.
your cousin,
Same color.
your friend, right? So they're taking out the people that you love just by listening to rap songs. And they probably ain't hurt nobody. They just rapping, right? So what y'all think about that?
It ain't right.
I mean, it's not right. But for a lot of them, it isn't their lifestyle. But for some of them, it is their lifestyle. But I feel like there'd be a more beneficial way you could share your stories without, But some people still, are in that type of lifestyle, so that's all they know.
But when they share their stories about gun and gun violence, for someone who, Kayla,
Yes.
who doesn't use firearms, what is the impact that they're having on the future of our kids?
A negative impact.
A negative
Yeah.
for sure, right? So it's giving us a vibe that's saying, hey, it's okay to do this. Well, it's not okay, because what they're not telling you is what happens after the fact, right? So what they're not saying is all the reasons why you might go to jail, or at least be questioned by the police, and that you might have to attend a funeral, and that your loved one may be the one that you're crying over, and that you will have to live the rest of your life without them because of gun violence, right? All right. So tell me, how do you think you can be responsibly armed? Just given what you think about responsibly armed, what does that mean to you, being responsibly armed? What does that mean to you?
It means to me like when you have a weapon but you use it responsibly, by not shooting nobody for like no reason.
Girl, you my favorite. Yes. When you have one, so the strongest person in the room is the one who knows what they can do to you and walk away, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So the strongest person is the one that's mentally smart, that mentally I know that I can hurt you. But because I also know all the consequences and all the things that follow it, and I respect your life like mine, I'm going to walk away.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yes.
That means I'm responsible. I'm responsible for my life and the life of everybody else. What else? What do you think that responsibly armed means?
Responsibly armed.
To you, what does it mean? When you hear it, what do you think?
Having a firearm in a positive way, instead of, like we was talking about, instead of going out intentionally killing people, using it for self protection, in manners that could, I can't really put it into words, but like responsibly
right.
armed. Yeah, pretty much for self protection, having a firearm in a positive way. Yeah.
I like it. So having a firearm in a positive way, what do y'all think that really means? Like a positive way. How do you positively have a firearm?
Using it when it's only needed.
Only need
Like
it.
not like just showing it around and like telling people that you're gonna shoot up their house just because they talked about someone that you like.
Being able to de-escalate situations, right?
Staying humble.
Staying humble, I like it. And being able to know the difference on when and when not to. So those are really good responsibly armed situations. So in my training, there are 4 firearm safety rules. 4. And those 4 are, if you use those 4 in any situation, it can make you more responsible than not, right? So the first one is treat all firearms as though they're loaded. Okay? Treat them as though they're loaded. So what does that mean to you?
It means
Go ahead.
you go first.
Okay, like being careful with them, like, cause I know a lot of people that accidentally handled them and then actually shot them instead of what they were trying to shoot.
Right.
It means like you're just like playing around with it and you accidentally shoot someone or you shoot yourself.
Yes. What you think?
Ma'am.
I said, what you think? Treating them all as though they're not loaded. I mean, they're loaded. Treat them as if they are loaded. So let me ask: is a water gun loaded?
No. I mean,
Sometimes.
It depends.
Could the if
when you
I
buy
shot-
it, no.
So, but it could be loaded, right?
Yes.
Could it do some harm?
No.
No.
It could.
Well, I mean,
if you get hit in the
I
eye.
mean, yeah.
To your phone.
Yes.
And like the pressure of the water depends on the gun and how they shoot it.
Yeah.
Did you?
How hot the water is.
The water's hot.
It could be.
And a plastic one is crazy. It could be though.
I like
Out in the
it.
sun all the time. Did you hear the story with Alec Baldwin and the set? Yeah.
Tell me,
Someone could
what-
have like boiled water and put it in there because they thought it was funny.
Tell me what you think about it.
Assault. It's. I mean, in that situation, well, for those who don't know, Alec Baldwin.
Yeah, Alec
Famous actor. You've seen him probably everywhere. He was for a old western, I'm pretty sure, type movie. And the set people, the gun person who was supposed to be the daughter of another gun person who did it great in the industry, and so she took over the business, yada yada. But she wasn't, I guess, either as good as it or that prepared, because she accidentally somehow mistook a real gun and real ammunition for a set gun and gave it to Alec Baldwin. And he was supposed to aim it and shoot at the camera. He aimed it and shot at the camera, and it was loaded.
And it was loaded. Why? Because there's never an accidental discharge. You said that someone has accidentally shot themselves. We call it a negligent discharge because it's negligence when you pick it up and you don't treat it like it's loaded.
Yeah.
So every single gun, a plastic gun could be loaded. A toy gun could be loaded. And you have to treat them all as if they're loaded. So if I treat every gun like it's loaded, will I just point it at anybody?
No.
Right. Even a water gun, if I don't intend to hit my target, will I just point it at my target?
Not like pointing at the ground or something.
Exactly. So treating them like they're loaded keeps you safer. And then the second one is never point your firearm at anything you're not willing to destroy, right? So I wouldn't point it at my TV if I wasn't willing to destroy it. I wouldn't point it at somebody else if I wasn't willing to destroy it. So never point your firearm at anything you're not willing to destroy.
So how, like, would you say, like, your teaching style is?
It depends.
Depends how.
It depends on what I'm teaching. So, like, right now, you are being taught, right?
Yes.
So, like, I want to engage you. I want people to be engaged. I want you to think about what it is you're doing, and especially with a firearm, because it's so important for you to understand. And so I'm a hands-on teacher. I like you to see it. I like you to touch it. I like you to feel it. And then I also want you to think about it, because it all starts, this whole thing about a gun starts in your head. That's a great question. But then sometimes it's just, we can teach in a lot of different ways, but I like the hands-on.
Yeah, that makes sense, because just like thinking of something is not the same thing as actually having it and like seeing it and what it could do to people.
Yep.
Okay, but like, if you teach someone how to use a gun and they use it unresponsibly, you're teaching them how to use a gun and like how to and how to shoot someone if needed, but they're gonna shoot someone just be shooting someone.
So that's why you got to be responsible. So when I teach them, I'm teaching them about responsibility. I'm teaching them about the laws. I'm teaching them all the things that they need to know so that when they walk away, they know how to stop a threat. Because I'm not teaching anybody how to kill anybody.
Right.
I'm not teaching anybody how to hurt anybody, because the whole point of what we're doing is to stop a threat. I think, tell me your name again. Ajane said at the beginning that she would use it if someone came into her house and they were threatening her, right?
Right.
And so we teach you how to stop a threat and not hurt somebody.
Stop a threat, like how?
So if you use the firearm to stop someone who is threatening you. So it may be that you have to discharge your firearm. Or it may be that you have to talk your way out of the situation. So being a good negotiator of your own self, like, hey, you know what? I don't want no trouble. I want to walk away. I don't want that. Maybe that's what you do.
Okay.
So being able to de-escalate a situation.
I think that's what lots of people need help with, because they like acting on feelings and stuff.
Oh, girl, say that.
Okay. I have a question. Are there a lot of people like you out in Macon, Georgia, with a program like the Responsibly Armed LLC?
There are a few others out there. A lot of our local gun ranges, they offer training, and there are some others out there. And I would say that if you decide to get a firearm trainer, which I think everybody should have one, that you vet them, meaning you look into their background, look into their history. Are they teaching you the right things? Are they able to show you more than just shooting? Are they talking about the laws? Because anybody can show you how to shoot, right?
Right.
But if you want to be responsibly armed, even if you don't train with me or train with someone who actually understands the law.
But like, what makes you different from all those other programs?
Because I'm a female. And we really take it serious. There's not a lot of girls that know how to shoot, and so that's what makes me really different.
Yeah, that's good.
So why did you want to take it from just past you teaching your son how to responsibly arm himself?
Because the world is changing, right?
Oh, yeah.
Y'all feel it? The world is doing some crazy stuff out there.
Right.
And so we do have to be able to protect ourselves. I mean, you kind of saw what happened in LA recently.
Yeah.
And so you don't know what happened. Well, if they had just started using firearms, that would have been horrendous, right?
Yes.
But if someone would have attacked them, kind of Ajanae's example, you wanted to know how to protect yourself. So that's why I started.
Did your other son being in the military have anything to do with it at all?
Nope, he didn't go into the military until after we started training. But when he went to the military,
He was prepared.
he was prepared.
Okay. But like also, how do you because I know like lots of parents, they wouldn't want their like kids to be around that type of stuff or even knowing of that. So how do you, I don't know, like persuade something
Persuade
like that?
parents?
Yeah, something like that. I don't really know how to explain it, but
Yeah. So it's better to know and not need it than need it and not know. So really it's like, I need to know how to protect myself. Like if I told your parent, I need to know how to fight.
Right.
What do you
Yeah.
think your parents would do?
my mom
Either
would say
put you in
yes.
boxing class or
Right. Teach you how to do it,
Yeah.
right? I need to learn jujitsu, right?
Yeah.
They'll do that because those things are protection. Well, this is no different. I need to learn how to protect myself, especially if they decide they want to have one in the house for their own protection,
Right.
right? So you got to know how to use it as well and know what to do and what not to do because they may not want you to touch it, but you got to understand where it is because what if they get hurt? You got to be able to protect it, right?
Right.
So how do you convince her? You talk to her or you talk to your parents. Talk to them. Have those conversations. Yes.
have you ever experienced gun violence firsthand?
I have. When I was a teenager, I did. It was quite scary. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just praying and hugging the ground so that I could get home. It was a drive-by and someone shooting into a house. They didn't know who was in there. But by God's grace, I was able to walk out without any issues.
Were you was in the house?
I was in the house, and I was able to walk out without any issues. So after that, it became really serious for me. Like, I need to be able to protect myself. So I need to know, one, where I was. So that was part of the problem. I was at a friend's house who I didn't know. I didn't know that they had beef with somebody else on the other side of town. So I'm just in their house, right? So knowing who you're with and who has your back is so important.
So what effects have you seen from your program already?
What effects?
Yeah, like what? How have you seen this affect, I guess, the community so far?
So far since 2022, we've trained over about 300 people, families, and making sure that they are, and a lot of them keep coming back to us. They come back because they want to know more, and in that, they are learning how to properly and safely protect themselves. So that's our impact to the community. While it's not big numbers, it is effective numbers.
Okay.
Growing up, do you recall having someone like you in your life when it comes to guns?
Absolutely not. My daddy had one in the house, but we couldn't touch it.
Right.
And he didn't show us how to use it. So, funny story. It was my first date with my now husband. He was my boyfriend.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
He was like, "Let's go to the range." So that's what
for
we did. He did, and so he took me to the range, and I think my first shot was a headshot, and so he knew I should probably be his wife.
That's a cute love story.
But after that, it was like, man, I really want to know what I'm doing, and so it just blossomed from there.
When was that?
I have been married for 27 years.
Wow.
Yep.
I
God
got
is
a
good.
question.
Yes.
So, if you your dad said yes to you be able to use a gun?
If my dad had sat down and taught me how to use a gun, I probably would have. But now I teach my mom how to use a firearm. my brothers, my aunties, my nieces, my nephews, and I have 17 nieces and nephews, and all of them are very equipped to take care of themselves.
Okay.
That's good. Passing it down from generation to generation.
Yes.
All right. I have 2 questions.
Okay.
So first off, with your now husband, well, not now, 20, yeah. But back then, you weren't kind of like, I guess, surprised when he said, let's go to the gun range.
Nah, because everybody thought it was cool, right? If I told you right now as a teenager in 9th grade, and I said, hey, let's go to the gun range, what would you do? When you got there, would you take a picture?
I mean,
Yep. Would you tell all your boys?
probably.
And then you would try to hit your headshot?
Probably.
Yes. And so it's cool, right? But what I wasn't thinking about was how unsafe we were through the process.
Oh.
Okay. What is your thought about gun ownership in America, just as a whole?
So I think that everyone has a right, according to the Second Amendment, to protect themselves by use of a firearm. And I think that we should. I'm okay with having them. I think everybody should know how to have one and be trained on it, but I am not against people having one.
So what do you see for the future of Responsibly Armed?
So in the future of Responsibly Armed, we could do this on a bigger scale. We could do training for youth on a bigger scale. We can really talk to people and really get people thinking about, okay, I have guns, however, do I need to use it? And in what situations? Because we didn't talk. We got so much we could talk about, like situational awareness, being prepared, preparing your mind and your body for what's going to happen. Because once you pull that trigger, that's a lifetime decision, right? So a lot of things. So we want to move into making it bigger in the community, getting more youth to be involved in a positive way, and not just, I want to learn how to shoot because I want to take somebody out, right?
Are you planning on like expanding it outside of Macon, or are you just trying to really focusing on getting it, I guess, more engaged in Macon?
So the Middle Georgia area is kind of my area right
Domain.
now. Yeah. Sometimes you just got to take care of home.
Amen.
Okay. So
What's the biggest gun?
Oh, wow.
What's the
Okay.
biggest
The
gun?
biggest gun that you have held.
Oh no, she's laughing now. Oh.
So I am 50 years old, and on my 50th birthday,
You don't look it.
thank you, I decided that I wanted to shoot a 50 caliber gun.
Sniper?
Wow.
Yep. So my friend and I, we convinced someone to let us use their 50 caliber gun,
Ooh.
and we went out about 200 yards and I shot my 50 caliber.
Wow.
I'll show y'all some pictures after.
Yeah.
Is that
It's pretty
bigger than
cool.
an armor piercing round?
So armor piercing round is, it depends on what caliber it is, because I could have any caliber armor piercing.
Oh.
But a 50 caliber round is probably about that long. So from here to here, versus one that is in a regular gun about here. So it was pretty fun. It was big fun.
okay. Do you know someone that has ever like gotten shot, like messing around, or just like when they got beef with someone?
So do I know anyone who has just been has been shot? My nephew was with his brother, and his brother was the aggressor. So he was talking junk. He was messing with somebody, and so he got out of the car to go and fight someone. He did not know that someone had a firearm, and they shot back at the car. But instead of shooting my first nephew, they shot his brother, and so he took some hits. Fortunately, he is okay. They shot him in the arm, but the one who was in the car had nothing to do with it. He was just driving his brother to a spot. He didn't know where or what was happening, and so there was the potential loss of life. Thank God it didn't happen, but yes. So I've had family members, and now we have all dealt with, okay, firearms, and these are the things that we need to do.
How does it make you feel seeing the youth now and making, holding firearms, using firearms, and things of that nature?
It breaks my heart because a lot of them are not educated on what they should and shouldn't do.
Right.
And I really wish that I could just pull them aside and just, give them information right then. So it's not a fun experience for me.
Do you have like plans of doing like kind of outreach programs for like, because I know that there's a couple of programs that come to the rec center and talk about things with sex ed, and I feel like gun safety is as important as sex ed. I mean, if you don't do that correctly, you might cost a life. With this, you might cost a life. So, do you have plans on like going to schools, going to rec centers, things like that?
Yes. So you guys are Jacory and I's first kind of venture out to try to see what people are interested in, because some people, when we say, hey, come learn about guns and how to use them.
Let me shoot.
Exactly, right. And it's not just that. The shooting is the last thing, right? Because it is about self-protection, and it's not just firearms. So when people hear us talking about arm, they think it's just about guns, and it's not. So we want to be able to come and teach youth about all the things. So this is our first step, talking to you guys. How about that?
That sounds nice.
That sounds awesome. Have you found yourself becoming more of like, I don't know the term for people more infatuated with firearms, but have you found yourself being more infatuated with firearms after having this program?
So, sorta. What I've learned, so I competition shoot too.
Ooh.
Right. So, y'all know the Olympics just came by, and I thought after watching those people shoot their guns, I was like, man, I could go to the Olympics shooting. So sometimes shooting is a sport, and because of that, I have a passion for firearms that I probably did not have or would not have had if I weren't in this.
Do you think about going pro?
I've thought about it. It's expensive. It's like expensive like golf clubs and stuff like that. It's expensive.
Oh, and also we wanted to say, like, for the TCP program, we just want to thank you for sponsoring our program.
You are welcome.
It really means a lot, too.
Well, good. I think what you guys are doing is absolutely amazing. I love that you are setting up the future for yourself. Because right now, you guys, you are the influencers. You are the real influencers. And anytime you can influence a positive behavior, like proper firearm ownership, is good for me. But I love what you guys are doing. I love what you've put together. I think this is phenomenal.
Okay, so we are running short on time. So before we go, do you have any words that you'd like to say to the audience, or any words of encouragement, or any words of safety that you feel like the people need to hear?
I'll be brief, but yes. So being responsibly armed starts with protecting your mind, your body, and your spirit. That means protecting your mind, knowing how to have a plan, working through that plan, protecting your body for firearm safety, and your spirit, knowing how to tap into love and not hate, caring and not hatred, right? So those are the things that I would leave with you as youth. When you really think about, your self-protection, that you think about those plans in your mind on how you want to be safe. So, and last but not least, this is what we always say to everybody once we get finished training them. Thank you for allowing Keisha and Katrina with Responsibly Armed to help make you responsibly armed.
And thank you for talking to us.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right. Now, guys, let's actually have a quick talk about what we learned here today. So how do you feel about what we experienced today?
I guess I'll start. I don't want to be like rude or nothing, but before I actually like talked with you, I thought that the program wasn't really good, because I know from a lot of people, like lots of people that are really negative, and I know that they would probably use that just because now they know that, oh yeah, I know how to do this, I know how to shoot right, I know how to handle it and stuff. So I thought it was going to put more risk in like the safety of other people instead of actually helping them. But you did teach me that it actually, it really helps. And honestly, I wouldn't even mind taking a class too.
Love it. Well, come see me. But no, that's exactly why we do it, because it's about demystifying what people are interested in when it comes to firearms. So thank you.
So, like, Elijah, how did you feel about today's, I guess, meeting and get-together interview?
I believe this is new. I don't really know. I've never heard about anything like a gun when it comes to like teaching different ages how to use guns the right way. It's very surprising, now that our generation is like this.
Yeah.
Even with this, like a program like Responsibly Armed, kids still don't choose to take advantage and go to it, but I believe so. Like, if I was to see my friend out doing things with guns, I would recommend to tell him, hey, think about going to Responsibly Armed. I know a couple things about it, tell him what I know. And, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I feel like just learning this experience, even though like some people might try to be like that and try to be out here with a lot of firearms, try to be shooting people, try to be causing harm to society, I feel like learning this information, it's not going to do any harm at that point. It most likely is going to do more good than harm, because they'll see how this is affecting people rather than just be like, I need to get my get back.
Right.
Isn't it?
We waiting for you.
What I learned is
Yeah.
what I learned is that Responsibly Armed is not like a bad program, but a good one.
Short and simple to the point. Bailey, do you have anything to say about today?
No.
Alright.
Wow.
Well, again, I thank you all for watching. I thank you, Miss Keisha Bibbs, for coming out today, and I really thank you for having this program, because a lot of people need it today, and I feel like without this program, a lot of people are going to be led astray. So thank you for doing this.
Thank you for having me.
All right, and thank y'all all, and stay tuned for next time. Bye.
Yerp.